We're here with Dr. Benjamin Coy and Mr. Michael Gersten, members of our music faculty here at South Texas College, and we are here to talk about the South Texas College Symphonic Band, which apparently has been birthed this summer, so we're very excited about this. I'd like to begin by asking both of you, especially Dr. Coy, who's the director of the band, tell us a little bit about getting this very important ensemble off the ground for our college.
Well, you know, it's very interesting. We didn't have any ensembles at all planned for the summer, and some of my brass students came to me and asked whether or not we could have an ensemble. So I asked you, and you said that was fine. And then some of his woodwind students came to me and said, well, can we play too?
Absolutely.
And I said, well, fine, sign up for brass ensemble. And then I started thinking, well, if we have brass and woodwinds, let's just call it what it is and call it a band. So at our first rehearsal, we had 9 people. We have a full complement of 28 now.
Fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Why is a symphonic band, and better yet, an ensemble, a larger ensemble, why is that important to a music program, just in general? Why is that important to have that in a music program?
First thing to think about is that music is a collaborative art. Very few people make a living playing only by themselves. Maybe pianists, maybe. But even pianists then will go play concertos with orchestras. And if you play clarinet or trombone like we do, you almost never play completely solo. You may have one little 3-minute piece here or there, but then you're going to play with a pianist or with a chamber group or with an orchestra. So playing with other people and being able to collaborate and come up with ideas together, not just by yourself, is a very, very important skill that we need to be teaching to our students.
Any thoughts on that as well, Michael?
Yeah, well, and that's absolutely true. But and then there's also the practical part of it, which is so many of the students here, especially wind and percussion students, are working towards music degrees so they can become band directors. And so, of course, if you want to be a band director, it would make sense to play in a band as you're going through college. I think with both of us, most of what we learned about conducting a band, about playing in a band, came from our college experiences playing it in bands. And so it would make sense then to have a band here.
Yeah, if you think about, you spend 4 hours a week or 5 hours a week or whatever it is, sitting in an ensemble staring at a conductor, that's 5 hours a week of conducting training too, not just playing your instrument, but watching what conductors do. How do they structure a rehearsal? What do they listen for? What do they care about? What do they let go in favor of other things? This is all very important training.
So how has it been for you now as you're taking the helm of this ensemble and directing this?
Well, I keep saying I left my comfort zone behind several months ago. I have conducted before, but I have not conducted a wind band before.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new experience for me, and I'm loving it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the work that I've done before was with an orchestra, where the wind and the brass and the percussion are there, but they're there as colored instruments, as accents. And the bulk of the music is in 5 string parts. And that's relatively simple and straightforward.
You bet. Yeah.
With a wind band, there are not 5 parts that are predominant. There are 20 or 25 or 30 parts that are all equally important, and you have to pay attention to them all. And it's been a real wild ride from the podium perspective.
So how do you plan, because this is, again, we're getting the symphonic band off the ground this summer. How do you plan a first concert? How do you plan a program with a brand new ensemble that would work, that keeps the musicians in the ensemble motivated, and is also able to engage the audience?
Well, the first thing I did, I knew who my first 9 players were going to be. I didn't know who was going to fill into the ensemble. I had faith that I would get those people, and that panned out. I do have the people now. But I planned repertoire for the 9 people that I knew I was going to have. Music that highlighted their talents and featured those instruments. I chose music that I think is very, very representative of what a wind band is. I didn't try and push the boundaries with music that a wind band can play, but doesn't really scream wind band music, simply because the first time out, you really want to establish your base, your core competencies of what is a wind band. So I did that. And, you know, right off the bat, when I realized that Mr. Gersten was going to be playing with us as one of our 9 original members, I thought, well, if that's happening, I really need to feature our faculty. So we are going to be playing a clarinet concerto.
That's excellent. Yes, and that was noted in one of your interviews with Mr. Gersten. Tell us a little bit about your preparation for this as well, because you've played this before, am I correct? Or?
I've actually never performed it.
So this is going to be an interesting concert.
It's a standard in the clarinet repertoire. I've worked on it just to work on it. I've taught it. You know, I've had students perform it. But I've never actually performed it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
we're finding out some interesting things here today.
but I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to actually do that.
Absolutely.
I should point out it's a concertino.
Indeed.
Which is, you know, basically a smaller version of a concerto. So, you know, typically you'd expect a concerto to be at least 3 full movements.
Right.
This is basically 3 or so sections.
Yeah. Compacted into one movement, shall we say, kind of thing. Now, but even so, it being a concertino, do you find the level of virtuosity very much in line with some of the other works of von Weber?
You know, Carl Maria von Weber wrote this piece for this virtuoso clarinetist, Heinrich Behrmann.
Mm-hmm.
And this piece was written as a showpiece, so it you know, lots of
everything's
fast
on your shoulders.
technique.
You should see the amount of ink on his page. I'm pretty sure he plays more notes in that piece than the rest of the band combined.
But it was kind of set up that way, I'm assuming, because he wasn't always going to be promised a strong ensemble to accompany.
Right. Yeah, and so it's, you know, it's the orchestral parts are supposed to be a little simpler.
Yeah.
And the solo part more complex. And so that way Behrmann can travel around to any little town and with just 1 or 2 rehearsals perform this with an orchestra. Now they're talking, in that time it was any professional orchestra. So it takes more than 1 or 2 rehearsals here.
But we haven't had that many more rehearsals. I think we're going to end up having 4 on that piece.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I want to give a shout out to the members of the ensemble. They're doing a great job with it.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. And you're feeling comfortable, ready to go with this?
Yeah. Although I'm always reminded that Heinrich Behrmann basically played on a 5-keyed clarinet. You know, very different than the clarinet I play on, and so I was thinking, wow, you know, this is a difficult piece, but Behrmann did it on. I have a much better instrument.
Oh, good.
If he could do it on 5 keys, you should be able to.
This should be a piece of cake here. This is wonderful. What else is on the program? Just maybe a couple other pieces down on pieces?
Well, we're starting with what I think is a real treat. Everybody knows Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson.
Right.
When that came out on a record in 1948, the record had a B-side, of course. And we're going to play the B-side. It's a piece called Serenata, also by Leroy Anderson. On that record, it was also with the Boston Pops and Arthur Fiedler. It's not a Christmas or a holiday piece the way Sleigh Ride was, but it retains that same kind of a light, fun, happy feel, which I think kind of represents the other side. Instead of being winter, this is the summer light side.
He actually wrote some fabulous pieces.
He did.
I mean, there's a lot of work that he's done that isn't even performed anymore, but if you go through his work, you think, this guy was really clever. Really clever. What else is on the program besides that?
We're going to feature a whole lot of, like I said, standards of the repertoire. When you think wind band, you think Percy Grainger. We are going to play Irish Tune from County Derry by Percy Grainger, his #1 hit in the band world.
Cool.
Another composer that you think of a lot when you think of wind band is James Swearingen, who incidentally is from Columbus, Ohio, where I grew up.
Shout out to your old state.
You know, he was teaching at Capital University, just 10 minutes from where I lived.
Wow.
So, I mean, great man, very, very nice man. And we're going to be playing one of his pieces called Majestia.
You might want to let him know if you can get a hold of him still.
Maybe I should send him an email.
That would be bad. So, beyond this now, we're getting this marvelous ensemble off the ground. Give us an idea of where you are moving with this ensemble in terms of maybe general goals, in terms of numbers of people that you're hoping to eventually have. who would be comprising this right now? You have students and some community members?
Yes, we have community members, we have faculty, we have non-music majors, we have math majors, we have criminal justice majors. One of the things I think that is great about a large ensemble like this, rather than like a little brass quintet or something like that, is that it allows STC to play a leadership role in the community, in the valley, in McAllen, that we are able to provide a service in the way of both performance music and a place to perform to the community. This is something that I think is representative of a thriving artistic community like McAllen, and we are very proud to be part of that.
That's excellent. Any thoughts on that as well, Michael, in terms of where you see this going? Because you are also, as a faculty member here, involved in this as well.
Right. Well, I mean, I should say that, you know, the symphonic band, Dr. Coy is the director.
Right.
You know, I'm just helping out. You know, I'm playing in it.
Most ably, I might add.
And your wife has joined them as well.
Yes, yeah, which is actually fun because we haven't played in a band together since we were in college.
Oh, cool.
I'll point out she's playing the oboe for the first
Right.
time in her life.
And so for her, it's a way to, you know,
Yeah.
push herself and learn a new instrument. No, I agree with everything Dr. Coy said. You know, a band is so important to a music program, and especially in Texas, where you know,
Band is very, very big.
band is so big throughout the state. We had to have one.
Yeah, absolutely. And very well put. Now, give us the date and time, location, all that we need.
Next Thursday, July 28th, 7:30 in the Cooper Center. Free.
Okay, this is on the McAllen campus, Bicon campus at the Cooper Center. You can call 872-2503 if you want additional information, and it is a free concert, as you indicated,
It is.
so please be sure and come out, bring family and friends to this. While I got both of you here, I want to tag on to something else that's kind of, I think, very exciting that both of you have been working on as well, and that is at least give the public a little bit of a hint of what you all are planning in terms of a Valley Honors Band. There's some exciting things I'm seeing developing here, and I'm maybe...
Well, we're developing the whole band program, not just the STC Symphonic Band, but the concept of band and band education at South Texas College. So we are starting next year, 2017, in April 2017, April?
Yes,
April 2017, an honor band for high school students, where high school students will be able to come to our campus and receive college level instruction from us and our colleagues, and play in a high school honors band where the members will be from high schools all across the valley.
Fabulous, fabulous. Any thoughts on that as well, Michael?
No, I mean, I'm just excited to get that going. You know, it seemed like a big part of what we do is, you know, we want to be a part of the community. Dr. Coy said that earlier, and so the Valley Honor Band is a great way to reach out to the community, bring high schoolers to our campus, and really give them a taste of the expectations of a college ensemble.
You know, and there is absolutely some marvelous talent in this area in
For
band
sure.
programs, because we have some very strong band programs, and so you have some incredible resource to draw from. So this is very, very exciting. We won't talk about it now, but we will soon be talking about something connected to this. We'll just give you a hint. There's something special that's coming up with this as well that we're very excited about, and we'll be announcing that hopefully within a week or so. That Michael Gersten, Mr. Gersten, had a lot to do with, but we'll kind of leave that sort of as a little hint and some exciting
Teaser.
things. It's a teaser, yes, it's a teaser. Well, this is some exciting things, gentlemen, that are going on. The program here, the music program here at the college, the South Texas College, is continuing to grow. Appreciate what both of you are doing, what you're bringing into the program as well as woodwind instructor and as brass instructor. I think it's, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, it's really a tremendous benefit to the students that are choosing to come to South Texas College and start their music studies here after high school. So it's very, very exciting. And both of you also are open to taking apply, or as we say, private students from high schools as well, they're able in some cases to sign up through our dual enrollment program, and
Absolutely.
you're open to that as well, so they can also contact us again. So give us the date and time of the concert next week again for our public.
Thursday, July 28th, 7:30 in the evening in the Cooper Center.
Okay, and that, as I said, is on the Pecan campus here in McAllen, Texas. Call 956-872-2503. That's our office number. We'd be happy to give you as much information as we can about that and share all the wonderful things that are going on here in the music program. I want to thank Dr. Coy again, Mr. Gersten, for taking time to visit with us about this exciting stuff. We should have been sending out birth announcements, you know, that would have been more fun as well.
At least appropriate.
Absolutely. So, hope you'll join us for this very special event as we've expressed and shared with you this day. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks.